I am on the Appropriations Subcommittee, which oversees the Veterans Affairs, and we're going to be making sure that we have the appropriate funds for veterans right now.
Voters across the country are taking the fight to their elected Republican officials and sharing their frustrations with Trump teaming up with the world's richest man to gut our government from the inside out.
Yes.
We make sure that our veterans are cared for from the moment they become a veteran to when they're laid in the grave.
Well, I care very much for veterans, and the recent cuts that were made, I think, to the Veterans Commissions, the new administrator,
not the hardworking federal
the new administration, official that just took over that time, made sure that America knew that the cuts that were made to the VA were not in a position that would affect services. So I do believe in veterans and helping veterans.
As Missouri Rep. Mark Alford continues to talk over his own constituents and waffle on about how he cares so much about veterans, you should know that he just voted to pass the Republican budget proposal that would cut vital social programs like Medicaid and SNAP benefits to pay for Trump's tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy and multinational corporations, leaving the rest of us, including veterans who need these programs to survive, hanging out to dry.
I work for Social Security.
She works for Social Security. Administration is a 50-year staffing
We are at a
IOU.
50-year staffing low.
Low, okay.
50 years
The savings
staffing
of-
low. There is one of me for every 1,600 of you.
Yeah.
I'm 45 of you in one day.
with no security clearance. I didn't see. Are you talking about Elon
I'm
Musk?
going to answer your question. I'm talking about
Elon Musk does have a security
No, he
clearance.
does not.
Yes, he does.
I get my security
Like it or
clearance.
not, Elon Musk does have a
You
security
with your
clearance.
benefits.
And
You
so-
didn't have to do.
If you legitimately believe that Elon's alleged security clearance was given and will only be used in good faith to protect the interests of the American people, you've been conned, and we have a bridge to sell you.
I'll take one of these.
People
Where's
die
Karen
waiting
that asked
for a
this question?
disability decision every year
Karen?
because we don't have the staff
Thank you,
to get them
Karen.
a
Karen
decision.
says, why is an
You
unelected
are
person
going
allowed
to
to
cut
hire
my
5
job, and I
employees? I'm going to
provide
take these one
critical
at a time.
services to people.
Uh,
You cannot cut my
The
job
reason is
without
that he's
hearing from
hired.
me.
A massive shout out to both of these voters for not giving Alford a moment of peace, and thankfully other voters are doing the same. Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
But what is going on right now today is the House of Representatives and the Senate are totally abdicating their responsibility to do it. These people have planned this for years and they are doing it. It is a fire hose of action, illegal actions that even you acknowledged right here, but we'll just worry and let the courts sort it out. There won't be a country left to run, sir, if you guys just sit back and are afraid of a primary. Because I hear President Musk has threatened a primary, and any Republican who doesn't get on board.
Protect this woman at all costs because she is spitting. The chaos and dysfunction we're seeing now is just the next logical step of the Republican Party's plan to consolidate as much power as possible within the executive branch to render any and all checks and balances obsolete and powerless in quelling the president's power.
I could give you 100 ideas how to be able to do development and improve the federal government. But what is happening now is, it makes no sense. It is an attempt to simply destroy the structure. So by the time the courts ever finally catch up to go, oh gosh, I guess you shouldn't have done that, it'll be too late.
The saddest part is that destroying the federal government makes perfect sense to Republicans like Oregon's Cliff Benz because they're only worried about enriching themselves, not serving the American people.
When will you stand up to them and say that is enough?
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already.
There's absolutely no
Wisconsin Republican Representative Scott Fitzgerald was visibly shaken once he realized his voters weren't buying the BS he was selling.
President Trump has issued a lot of executive orders. I think by and large this is moving very quickly compared to other administrations, and I think across the board he's done some very good things. I think he's gotten rid of birthright citizenship.
Illegal as hell.
Fellow Wisconsin Republican Glenn Grothman was also drowned out with boos when he praised Trump's dismantling of the federal government, appearing to be just as shocked as Fitzgerald to learn that cutting popular programs that actually benefit people in their everyday lives would not be welcomed with open arms and celebrations like they have been in Washington.
Tyranny is rising in the White House, and a man has declared himself our king. So I would like to know, rather, the people would like to know what you, congressmen, and your fellow congressmen are going to do to rein in the megalomaniac in the White House.
In Roswell, Georgia, Republican Rep. Rich McCormick, the same man who argued that public school students receiving free lunches during the school day are, quote, sponging off the government, and also said that welfare is the, quote, problem with inner cities, close quote, took a deserved verbal beatdown from his constituents.
When you talk about tyranny, when you talk about presidential power, I remember having the same discussion with Republicans when Biden was elected. The funny thing is, you're sitting here and a lot of you would probably say those January 6s who are yelling just as loud as you, who are upset just like you, and not listening.
Hey, let's restore some order. Let's restore some order.
So
Stop
yelling at me is not going to get any answer, okay?
Hey,
like I said, we're not going to yell.
Point of order. Hey, let's get through this, Congressman. Hey.
Yeah. I've seen Game of Thrones too. Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on because if you're not going to listen to the answer, we might as well not discuss it, right? Do you want to hear the answer?
You can just feel the contempt McCormick has for everyone in the room, and he will eventually try to answer the voters' question.
That's better. Always push government down to the local level because you'll get better representation. I don't want to see the president make all the decisions. I don't. I didn't want to see. Do you not want to hear that I just said? I answered it directly. I said, I don't want to see any president be too powerful.
So what do you mean by too powerful? Where's the line, Rich? Has it not already been crossed? We're used to roundabout responses and non-answers from politicians, but McCormick said nothing of substance to answer the voters' question, aside from calling for more power to be given to state governments, which is directly in line with the MAGA playbook and their goal of eliminating as much federal power as possible.
In this party, they can't decide who the they want to represent.
Applying pressure to the Dems or splitting from the party entirely, as of now, are our best hopes at cleaning up some of the damage done by the Republicans and preserving what little crumbs of democracy remain. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.